You are listening to Bedtime Dreamy Tales. Please make sure you have subscribed to our channel for new story. Story title: The Forest of Sharing. In the heart of the forest stood the tallest tree, known as the giving tree, which bore the juiciest fruits. However, a problem arose when Benny, a young and sprightly rabbit, discovered the tree. Unlike others, Benny decided to keep the tree a secret, believing he could have all the fruits for himself. Every day, he would sneak out at dawn to feast on the fruits, filling his belly until he could eat no more, and then he would hide some in his burrow for later. Benny thought he was the luckiest rabbit in the forest, having found such a treasure all for himself. But as time passed, Benny's actions began to affect the forest. The animals noticed the scarcity of food, and the harmony that once filled the lush landscape started to fade. Friends began to suspect friends, and the once peaceful forest was now filled with whispers of distrust. The situation worsened when a severe drought hit, making food even scarcer. The forest animals, once joyous and content, grew tired and weak. One day Benny, with his belly full and for glistening, was spotted by Olive, a wise old owl who had been watching over the forest for many years. Olive noticed how Benny alone seemed unaffected by the scarcity that had befallen the forest. With her keen eyes she followed Benny at dawn, and discovered the secret of the giving tree. Olive, saddened by Benny's selfishness, decided it was time for a lesson. She called upon the animals for a meeting under the moonlight and shared what she had discovered. The animals were shocked and hurt, feeling betrayed by one of their own. Benny, realizing the pain his actions had caused, hung his head in shame. He had been so caught up in his own happiness that he failed to see the suffering of others. Olive, with her voice calm but firm, spoke of the importance of sharing and caring for one another. She told them of a time long before, when the forest was known across lands not for its abundance, but for the love and unity among its inhabitants. The real treasure, she explained, was not the fruits of the giving tree, but the bond that held the forest together. Benny, tears in his eyes, realized the gravity of his mistake. He stood before the community, his heart heavy with guilt, and apologized for his selfishness. He promised to make amends, and proposed that the fruits of the giving tree be shared among all, ensuring no one would go hungry again. Moved by Benny's sincerity and willingness to change, the animals forgave him. Together they devised a plan to distribute the fruits fairly, making sure the young, the old, and the sick were cared for first. The forest bloomed once more, not just with the bounty of nature, but with the spirit of unity and compassion. Years went by, and the story of the giving tree and Benny's transformation became a legend in the forest of sharing. The animals lived in harmony, sharing not just the fruits but the responsibilities of caring for their home. They celebrated their diversity, knowing that each creature, big or small, had a role to play in the tapestry of the forest. And so, children, the forest of sharing reminds us that true happiness comes not from keeping all the treasures for ourselves but from sharing them with others. It teaches us that even the smallest act of kindness can restore harmony and bring a community closer together. As the stars twinkle above the forest, whispering the tales of old, remember the lesson of the giving tree and the young rabbit who learned that the greatest joy in life is found in giving, not receiving. For in the end, it is not what we have, but what we share, that defines the richness of our lives. Thus concludes our tale, dear children of the forest of sharing, a place where every heart beats in unison, singing the song of selflessness, a melody that echoes through the ages, reminding us all to live not for ourselves, but for